büyüklükteki keseli antiloplar gibi diğer farklı antilop türleriyle de karşılaşmanız olağandır. Balıkçılarsa sinsi bir şekilde su birikintilerinde tahtlarını kurarlar. Savanadaki herkesin hayatta kalması için su birikintileri şarttır ve bu yüzden burada genelde düşmanlıklar unutulur. Zürafalar dünyaya görkemli bir şekilde bakarak süzülürler. Tanrı sendromunu Darwin'in evrim teorilerinin canlı kanıtları olarak hak ediyorlar.
Vedat, Hasan bir dakika.
Mutlu günler değerli izleyenler. Gün ortası programında sizlerle birlikteyiz efendim. Dün meydana gelen
Here we are. Hey, everyone. Good to be here in the studio with Hakan Touran. My name is Micah Theard, and today it's a very special day for us. We've been working many, many years on our company and our project, and this is sort of us coming out to the world, talking about what we built.
For the last 8 years.
Blood, sweat, tears.
Well, 8 years and, you know, I think a lot of experience that we'll go into. I think it was waiting for the right time.
Yeah.
You know, because when something's really cooked, it tastes right, and it deserves to be served when it's at its best taste. Right?
Now it's prime. So I'll give you a little bit background on me, Mike. I started getting interested in crypto back in 2015. I was listening to a podcast. He was explaining how when he consults with his clients, he preferred to take Bitcoin as payment.
Yeah.
And I'm listening to this going, what? He prefers something other than money. Mm-hmm. And I started researching it, fell in love with the technology. You know, few years go by, I'm in crypto, I'm having an amazing journey in it. And then I purchased an apartment here in Cyprus. And then the developer was basically coming to you to do his crypto to fiat transaction.
Correct.
He brought me to your office, and you sat me down, and you started just writing on a whiteboard what you were building.
Yeah.
And it was the first time I heard a crypto pitch that was really about regulations, insurance, the future. Because every time I heard crypto pitches, it was kind of like, let's avoid the government, let's do this on some island somewhere. And you were saying, well, the future is the blockchain. If it is the blockchain, it has to be regulated, and those who go to get these licenses, those who go to get approvals, will win that game.
Are the ones that are going to be there.
Yeah.
For a long time.
So maybe we could start with sharing your background a little bit, Hakan, so that they can understand what this is all about.
I mean, I graduated law, and you know I took the journey to go to the UK and, you know, practice law. That was the whole plan.
Yeah.
And, you know, I walked into a small convenience store. And the convenience store...
So you're just a student?
No, I'm graduated.
You graduated?
Graduated guy.
No money in your pocket?
Well, I had £70 in my pocket.
Okay.
And I owed the travel agent for the ticket that I bought in Cyprus.
From the 70?
No.
No.
That was a debt. And I said I will pay you back in a month.
Yeah.
And I had £70 in my pocket, and I took the flight to the UK, and I walked into this convenience store. And at that point, the shopkeeper was a Turkish guy, and he spoke no English, and he said, Hakan, can you help this translation? And I never forget the guy's name. The guy's name was a guy called John Marshall, okay? Mm-hmm. He must be very old now. So, and I was doing this translation about this ATM machine. And I said, well, he's going to bring an ATM, put it in a convenience store. People are going to come, withdraw. They're going to pay £1.50 surcharge. He's going to give 50% kickback to the convenience guy. Brings a lot of footfall to the site. I said, how much is this machine? It's £14,000. I said, okay. And I said, very interesting, and I think this will fly. Mm-hmm. I said, is there any opportunities for people that want to distribute these ATMs in the UK? So he said to me, well, you can join, but it's commission only. And I said, well, what is the commission? He said, £400. I said, wow, guys, £70 in your pocket, £400.
That sounded really good.
Like a huge number for me. So I said, okay, what do I do? He said, come tomorrow to the training. So I went to the training. Actually, maybe I didn't tell you this bit of the 70 pound. I actually walked down that day. I was staying at a place called Potter's Bar. I walked down the street and I said, if I'm going to do selling an ATM machine, I should have a decent bag, right? So I spent 40 pound of that 70 pound on the bag. And I bought a travel card, went to the training. I sold 57 ATMs in my first week.
I've heard that before. I still don't understand how that happened because
together, I worked my way up to be the sales director of that company.
Yeah.
We installed over 57,000 ATMs in 20 months, nearly 2 years. And, you know,
conquered UK.
yeah, I did very well.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, can I bring this to the next stage and be the first guy to install the first independent ATM of Turkey? By that time, I didn't go there with 70 pound.
You had a little bit more.
I had a little bit more than 70 pounds, so I had something like £500,000, which for me, I was 26 years old, you know, and I took, with a team, some great guys that one still remains a partner, Keith Heaviside, you know him very well.
Yeah.
We took the journey to Turkey and you know, to get to the point of installing an ATM, you need a sponsor bank. So how do we find the sponsor bank? So we're going around knocking one door, the other door, the other door, and slowly that nice chunk of investment that you've put to fund your business is melting at the same time. But we never gave up. You know, we never gave up.
So you were looking at, in Turkey, the banks and the ATMs were segregated, so you couldn't use your card.
To get to the national switch, you needed a sponsor. That's a different story.
Yeah.
To get to the national switch, you need a sponsor bank, so somebody to say, yeah, use our channel to the national switch. Took us 2 years, and at the end of 2 years, we become partners of the richest guy of Turkey, FIBA Holding, and we, through Finance Bank, we installed the first independent ATM of Turkey. And
Wow.
At that time, when we installed an ATM, you know, there were groups of ATMs. Like 5 banks were having their own group and another 6 banks were having their own group. So I thought, well, how do we get all these ATMs together working and giving more convenience and less capex for the banks, more productivity, more profit? And after years of going around through the banks and explaining to them, you know, that this is the way forward, this is how it's done in Europe, this is how it's done in the world, we, after that, that was a big success for me to build the full interchange of Turkey. Then I moved on to data analytics, really understanding about consumer risk and consumer data. And year 2013, I think, 13 or 14, there was people blocked in Turkey to buy mobile phones and different electronic goods with installments. So there had to be, and there was a real drop in sales, for especially the GSM operators and the electronic white goods companies. So I thought, how can I design a product that really goes, fits in the law, but actually becomes a solution?
So there was a barrier to being able to finance like laptops and whatever they needed.
They couldn't, yeah, a big barrier. I mean, the sales drop would have been 65% drop in sales.
Wow.
So I built the first consumer credit insurance of Turkey, and through BMX and Arçelik, in the first month we did over $1 billion of revenue. So
when you delivered that product,
they just plugged it into their system and it flew. So through those years, understanding ATM, understanding POS machines, and understanding data analytics, understanding risk, and understanding banking, it was always my dream to come back to my country and actually have a bank, you know, build a bank.
yeah.
Because that's what I learned through starting from that convenience store through the years. That's all I learned. I forgot about the law side of it, but just became a banker. But it's at 2017, you know, I've been going around designing this bank, this future bank, and this is what, you know, digital, and it just got to me, and I saw the missing piece of my dream, and this whole experience that I had and my team had was crypto. Because wherever I plugged crypto, it would solve the missing piece of the puzzle. And I thought, if I can plug this in all to this, yes, it will take some time, more than just building an exchange, but when it's built, it will be something that will be there as a future bank. But
So
to
like
do that,
a fintech bank of the future that's built on the blockchain in sense.
yeah, and that's the whole Miracle setup that we're going to be talking about. So as obviously this started, and you mentioned to it, from day one, the whole mission has been to focus on technology, focus on structure, but also focus on regulation. Because, and that takes time. To build a structure that's going to be regulated with regulated technology and regulated company structure takes time to build. So throughout the last 7.5, 8 years, which we'll go into, that's what we've been doing together with hundreds of people.
Evolving the business since 2017 through bull markets and bear markets, building an infrastructure for Miracle, you know, and then sort of landing here and going into an approach of sort of going into Europe with a Miracle that looks like what?
Well, we're the first company to do cash transactions in Europe, regulated cash transaction in Europe. I mean, for the last 3 years, we actually have stores in the center of Amsterdam, center of Berlin.
Yeah, we'll get to that, but
Okay.
I want to discuss with you because you know how when we first met, you were saying, just wait. When regulations come, it'll shrink the industry by 90% because companies won't be ready.
To date, still, crypto is in its inventory. You know, everybody's talking about crypto. There's trillions in numbers, but it's really 5% of what it's going to get to. There's still another 95% minimum growth out there in the crypto collective industry. So to get there, you need regulation because there's only a certain, you know, percentage of people that can understand decentralized finance, take risk, in other words, of decentralized finance, that they need regulation and education at the same time, right? So Mika, let's talk about Europe. You know, for the last 2-3 years,
I'd like to update the slide, please.
Okay.
We're streaming at the same time if you guys are on audio, so. All right. Okay, go ahead. Okay.
So, talking about Mika, you know, for the last 2-3 years, there's been a period of, you know, before Mika, which is the EU crypto regulation.
Right.
You know, you could go and get a local license, and that local license has its own investment and its own process of obtaining that license. But when Mika came out, you got to a period of where local authorities said, well, why am I going to put the energy into something that's going to be Mika 1.5 years' time? So everything, there was a shift of local authority to Mika, and that's been happening for the last 2.5 years. And we've got to that stage. And, you know, together with our licenses and our partnership licenses, from May 2025, we're getting ready to, if you remember, we were planning to roll out into 4 or 5 countries. That
Yeah.
was the plan, right? And
That was
admit-
our initial roadmap. And as that was happening,
Yeah.
Mika was coming up, which was something you predicted,
yeah,
obviously. And the way that happened was centralized in EU, took all of that away from each country.
yeah.
And so now you have to go through the EU body to get that license.
Correct. And what that gives us as a company, by choosing that route, choosing the tough road, path, brought us to date from May 2025. We can roll out no longer into 4 or 5 countries, but we can roll out into a minimum of 27 countries, which is the EU.
Right.
And now that gives Miracle, the products that we're going to be talking about, a massive growth opportunity
Right.
to expand to a very with a very aggressive rollout to very big EBITDA numbers that can give everything that we're going to be talking about a humongous value.
Yeah, and when you look at that, is one barrier to being a competitor now is to achieve that license. And what I understand is that you can't just apply for it now. Now you have to actually build your company first, then apply for the license.
It's
from my
it's a
understanding.
huge and you may not get it.
You may not get it. Yeah.
So, do you spend $10-15 million and then wait to go through the process?
Yeah.
It's a very, you won't get a lot of private equity companies out there to invest into a company that hasn't achieved licenses. It will be very, very difficult.
And I can imagine that you're licensed in Europe now that we say expand into the rest of the world. When you already carry the Mika license, is fairly a simple process to
If you've
expand.
obtained the Mika license, any other regulation that will be up there in the world, other parts in the world, it will be just a copy-paste. So it will be going through the same process. And yeah, so it gives you a very fast move advantage. It's a big barrier for newcomers because you may not get it. And there will be a lot of companies, there have been a lot of small companies that just because of Mika have stopped trading because they don't want to go down that path.
Yeah.
So we as a company, we're ready for EU. We're very excited for EU. And the good thing is the stuff that we're going to be talking about, the products we're going to be talking about, rolling them out, I've rolled them out before. So that's
This is what you do. This is what you've been doing your whole career, and this is just another phase.
it's
where-
easier, which I will explain.
Right.
It's easier.
So let's talk about one of the companies under Miracle, which is Miracle Pay.
So just to understand, what we've built, before going into Miracle Pay, I would like to explain what Miracle is, Miracle, as a company, uses Fireblocks as custodial services. That's where we keep all our crypto wallets are in Fireblocks, so we don't touch the coin.
Yeah.
We have built, through the years, we've built a central switch, which in my terminology, I used like the core banking system.
Yeah.
So that switch that took around 3 years to build, that's the core center of our technology that allows us to plug Miracle Play. It allows us to plug a store in Amsterdam. It allows us to plug a virtual POS in crypto. So all these products or transaction types that we've built or will be building will be integrated into this great switch. So
So everything revolves around having your own switch. Companies will use other companies' switch if they're not big enough. So building that switch.
Yeah, there's companies that just give you switch services.
Yeah.
And they'll take a good chunk of your transaction fees. We have our own switch, and one of the products that we've built, which is Miracle Pay, and under Miracle Pay is a terminal. Now that terminal can either be, so let's assume that there's a store that never had an electronic terminal in their life. We can provide them with a terminal, okay? But generally, 99% stores have some sort of a brand sitting in their store, which we'll come to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some sort of machine that they're transacting currently on Visa,
On Visa MasterCard
yeah.
transactions, acquiring Visa MasterCard
Right.
transactions. Now, that brand could be an Ingenico, it could be a Verifone, it could be an NCR, it could be a Pax, it could be anything. There's loads of these brands, okay? And under Miracle Pay, we also have a virtual POS section, which we've built, which we're getting ready to go out there, especially in the EU, and allow e-commerce sites, give them an API, a widget to plug into their system and just accept multi-cryptocurrencies as a payment. And again, under Miracle Pay, we have something that we've just finished, but I think we're not going to go into that right now, which is a very special product. And I think we'll talk about that down the line.
Give me a hint. Sorry.
It's bringing the last piece of the jigsaw and turning it what I said at the beginning.
Okay. So
The bank.
The bank part, yeah. So now we've got 8 years under our belt. We have over 60 million invested. The company's fully built. We have licenses for Europe.
$60 million and thousands of hours.
Yeah, of all sorts.
Yeah.
22
Very talented, very credible people. Because, you can have the best funding, you can have the best dream. It's people that make it happen. And we've through the years, people come and people go, and you finally get to really build a core team of people. That's one big value that we have, is our people. So we've built that as well.
Right. And that's the company.
That's the company.
So if you want to talk about, as all crypto operations companies, blockchain companies, a lot of them bring their own token into the mix, and
Yeah, but I would like to say a couple more things before talking about the token, about Miracle Pay. Now, Miracle Pay as an opportunity for EU or the world, what is it? How many terminals can we put out there? Well, if we're going to be putting the terminals, it's going to take us a bit of time. So what did we do? We, as Miracle Pay and Miracle, we've signed a contract with nearly every manufacturer out there. We have contracts in the bag for a global coverage of 100 million. All we need to do now, waiting for May, is to call the merchant and say, that terminal that's already sitting there? You don't have to pay anything. Just go onto it, like Apple Store. Go onto your brand store and just activate it. Right. That's our sale. Right. Now, I sold 57,000 ATMs at £14,000. I can sell more than 57,000 for free.
Yeah.
And the target of Miracle Pay is to roll out 200,000 minimum merchants per annum, starting this year.
And
That's
we see
the target.
big brands out there. They're servicing your Walmarts, your dollar stores, your McDonald's. And when you look on the machine, you see that brand. You see a lot of brands like Ingenico,
whichever brand you see out
Verifone,
there,
and they're all out there.
Whichever brand that you go to, 95% it will be one of the
4 contracts that
we've
Miracle
already
has
signed. So that takes a lot of, time, takes a lot of convincement, takes a lot of due diligence, because big brands putting their name beside you is important. So that Miracle Pay world, as I said, of that 100 million, do we achieve 1 million? Well, I think we can achieve at least a minimum of 5% in the next 3 years. I know we can do at the beginning 200,000 per annum easily, and that will grow significantly.
Well, there's a lot of money out there for those retailers. If you think that in 2014 there was 10 million crypto users, now there's over 500 million, and that continues to grow. And of course, if they have crypto, and I've been in that situation where I've had a lot, and I would love to go and buy a Rolex with crypto instead of having to switch it to my bank account. And so the merchants are absolutely ready for this, and to be that company for that, and be in a position that Miracle's in, as the world continues to of crypto and crypto users continue to grow.
So yeah, and so before you go on to the token, okay, I'd like to say one thing. Miracle Pay is a giant opportunity, but everything that we're going to be discussing today, the way we've built the token that we're going to be discussing is we've put it right in the center of everything we do. So everything we generate, there is a kick into this token. And, this token has been there for some time. Do you want to go into it, and I'll...
Yeah, let's talk. This is actually the first time, really, that we've shared about this. This is not a project. The token is not a project for us to really do a raise. The token is really there to build a true utility, to build a valuable currency that connects to all of Miracle's real-world assets, etc.
Yeah, and well, there's a lot of reasons why we kept to really go out to the world and talk about Phoenix, was really completing its tokenomics. It took us, nearly a year to really understand, digest, and find the right tokenomics for this token. And it's 5.5 billion tokens. We've just locked 95% of it, and every unlock has a success attached to it, unless there's no unlock. Miracle Pay is part of Phoenix, and we've had a valuation just on the 4 or 5 countries, from an international audit firm for 3.3 billion. We're now going into 27 countries, and we're bringing in Miracle Pay, and we're also going to be putting $20 million of liquidity. So we've got 3 main streams into Phoenix. $20 million liquidity in the next 12 months. A good slice of Miracle Pay going into Phoenix, and we'll be talking about the 5-star hotel and casino that we're building at the moment, and we have the license and the land that's going into Phoenix. Now, that collectively, even if we were valuing that with a discounted cash flow, it wouldn't be anything less than $300 million. Now, if you look at the screen, the market value at the moment is $2.3 million. Well, that's a sort of an opportunity.
Well, I would call it an opportunity, and I think anyone who's studied to find good projects early on, I've bought into gaming tokens, and the company hasn't even built the game yet. So to look at this from a perspective of the infrastructure that's there, with the license, with having the only store in Europe doing cash transactions, but also having the capacity to duplicate that with existing retailers where we can turn them into a crypto to cash franchise for us, and then having Miracle Pay and having all of that, because all of the investment has really gone into the company. The token will obviously grow with the company, and because we haven't advertised.
There is no token out there that has built infrastructure, licenses, projects, plan of liquidity of this size. It does not exist. I mean, we finished a locking at CoinMarketCap today. I think we were listed before. The lock-in was at 4,800. We quickly moved up to 1,700.
Yeah.
So we've had a 3,000 jump in our listing, and that jump will carry on. We'll see in the next 3-4 months how Phoenix grows to $10 plus, and how it goes up that list, because we have the muscles are all built there, and that doesn't exist. A lot of the coins, not knocking any brand out there, they may have a story, but they don't have structure, and they don't have all that business built around them. It doesn't exist.
No. PNIC, Phoenix on Avalanche. So right now we're on Avalanche, but we're looking to obviously be on additional chains in the near future.
Yes.
So trading on MEXC, trading on CoinStore.
We have two more big chain exchanges that we'll be adding on in the next 2 to 3 months.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit more as we move on to, and we'll revisit Phoenix a little bit later, but we have just recently broken ground here in North Cyprus. North Cyprus is the Vegas of the Mediterranean. I don't know how many hotel casinos there are on this side of the island, but there's a lot.
They're generally casino hotels.
Casino hotels.
Rather than hotel casinos, because that's what they're built for. The hotels are built for the casinos, because it's banned in Turkey and all the Middle East. So all that trade of Middle East and Turkey, it's coming to Cyprus to enjoy themselves.
Right. So then looking at that industry and looking at it from perspective of blockchain, saying, well, what if we built a casino that had a crypto touch and crypto technology and being able to
So that's what we're doing.
Service those
It
clients.
will be the first crypto casino of the world. It will accept fiat as well, but it will be a casino where people go and if they're going to play on a machine, they'll be able to use their QR code and play with various crypto tokens. That's being built. That technology is being built as we speak. Aside from the Phoenix Hera hotel, resort, and casino, we're also building an online casino that will kick into Phoenix as well, and that will be global.
So I'm trying to connect here a little bit with Jason and Ryan, but I'm having some challenges. So maybe we share a little bit about our Web3 as well, as we've been building that for
as we've been waiting on the regulations and the licenses in EU, we said, well, we can't stop, so we'll carry on building. So we've been building our own unique Web3 leveler, which is now active on Avalanche, and we're working aggressively to add it onto more chains, Ethereum, Binance chains, and we're in the middle of finishing our own decentralized a Miracle swap.
Okay.
So that's being built as well at the moment.
And Leveler is sort of a unique
It's one of its kind.
application that allows you, to use leverage while you trade, which will go on to other exchanges as well, and follow that up with a Miracle swap.
Yes.
So, multifaceted company you built, Hakan.
Well, we built it together, and that's why it took 8 years. I've seen so many projects out there, Micah. People they're there. They've got a token. They're there for 2 months, and then they're gone. 8 years in this industry is a good time to be talking about real business, and we could have built a token years ago, but it would have been a token with an empty white paper and an empty story. That's why it took us so long, and that's why today we have a token that has more than a story.
All right.
So how are we going to bring all this together? Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, I believe that is what we're here to do. We want to share with the world how all of this comes together. Obviously, with having, our token as an opportunity, because, you look at that and you look at a 2.3 million market cap, going to 23 million, you buy it at 2.3 million. For us to go to 23 million is nothing. For us to go to 230 million is nothing.
It's nothing.
So it is, I know there's going to be some extremely happy people who heard this message today, who was listening to this message today, because when you put this together, you see possibly you're looking at one of the giants of the future in the industry.
It's more than 100 times the multiplier. Much higher.
Yeah.
Much higher than 100 times the multiplier.
Right, because a lot of the companies in crypto, they're really they're built for kind of a money grab. And you see that every day. Every day you see this. And because to a certain extent it's easy to dream up some kind of meme coin, put the team together, pump it up, grab the money, run, do it again. And I think, that's a game on its own. It's, they do that. Makes sense if they're making money, but, most people end up getting wrecked. Most people end up losing their money because they're sort of attracted to that. But when you can have a real project and a coin that has a future that would destroy the statistics of a meme coin because of that solid infrastructure that's been built, and Phoenix is where it's at for us. When we have those 100,000 merchants or the million merchants or the 2 million merchants
and the hotel is finished and the
Pay,
online casino is live, we're talking about hundreds of multipliers. So, biggest opportunity. Well, let's not say that, but one of the biggest opportunities.
One of the biggest opportunities.
And do you want to talk about our big?
I think just cover a little bit because I think it's important for people to know, and it stands out. It is the stores that Miracle has. We are doing so many things now. I remember a couple of years ago, it was really always the stores, and I remember that people had a misconception. They thought that the store was the moneymaker.
The store is telling people that we are real. The store, you can't go and open a store in the center of Amsterdam and be illegal.
Right.
You can't go and open a store in the center of Germany and be illegal.
Right.
The store is there to tell you, I'm legal. The store is there to touch people and build that loyalty.
Right.
The store is there for education, and the store is there, obviously, to make revenue.
Yeah.
And
So why don't we
go around the store?
why don't we talk about this a little bit here? So up here in the left corner, we have the Amsterdam location. And this is what we were saying, is that only store in Europe to transact crypto to cash.
To date, it's the only store to do cash transaction. There is no other brand that can do cash transaction at the moment in Europe. And this is our Berlin store, I think.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're very cool stores, by the way. We really took care of the brand. We invested just to give that new image of banking.
Right, a place that you can walk in. So what was it in your mind that the stores would be for this company? What was it that had you say, I want to go into, because most people in crypto, they don't want to be in the street. They don't want to, and a lot of people in crypto, they don't understand that approach either.
But you will. I mean, these stores are flagship stores. The license we have enables us to, we can make every merchant of Miracle Pay also a cash crypto store. Now that proposition, it on itself, is very important, because even if tomorrow you find some other competitors on Miracle Pay, they will need to offer as strong as a proposition that you are for them to choose somebody else.
Right.
So it's not only activating a terminal. You can activate a terminal, or you can be a Miracle store. That's what we're putting on the table for them, and that proposition is very unique.
So that's kind of the vision is, you live now in Amsterdam, you walk down, I forget the name of the street, Kalverstraat. And there's hundreds of thousands of people that actually pass by that store every single day. They see Miracle, they see Miracle, they see Miracle. So we're branding ourselves, we're local. Then when they see us online and they want to get onboarded onto crypto, they make that connection. And there you go. Now we're more in their mind than any other competitor. That's
because it builds that trust, you know. Being able to actually physically be there sends loads of messages. Tells people that you did the right things, you went through the hoops and the regulations to be able to open the door and transact in that street. That is a very strong message.
Yeah.
And believe me, it's not very easy.
Yeah, I read what it takes. It's having the banking relationship, having the local license, the
custodial, the exchange, the cash transaction, loads.
Security on your website, security on your systems, and then at the end of that, you can do it. And that's why no one else has done it yet. Because it's not like there's business there, right? There's a lot of business there. And when there's money and business and profit there, a lot of people want to do it. So it really shines a light on what we've done by being able to get to that point. But then having now, as we go into Europe, and we're calling on these merchants who already have the machine in their store, and we're saying, hey, the machine's already there. We can have you accept crypto. Not only that, we can give you a franchise of being able to transact crypto and cash in your store.
Yes, we can do that.
That's a powerful business model.
It's a unique business model.
Because it turns any retailer into a crypto transactional company as well, which could increase the convenience store business.
It will increase their footfall.
Similar to how the ATMs
It's the same proposition. The only difference is one's for free and the other one's £14,000.
So fast. New locations.
It would just tens and hundreds, you know.
All right. So then, if you were to project what that looks like over the next 2 years for Miracle throughout Europe? Do you see a lot of Miracle affiliated stores out there transacting?
As I said, we'll do 200,000 merchants per annum minimum. Now, let's say at least 10% of them will also be franchisees as well.
Yeah. So let's take a look at what a
A
store
real
in
cash
action
transaction.
looks like in right there in Amsterdam. So there's the money being counted by the machine. Lady has shared or sent crypto to us, and then receives her cash.
That's it.
And probably in Europe, a lot of people in Europe actually are doing cash to crypto. They have cash, they want crypto.
But because Amsterdam is a very touristic place, you do get the crypto to cash as well. But for locals, yes, it's a lot more cash to crypto.
All right. I'm working on connecting to the audio feed here.
Okay.
I don't know if there's anyone that could give me a hand on that, because maybe Ryan, if you're in the group, if you can give me some assistance to kind of connect to audio a little bit better here. Okay. If I'm on the video feed, it's like 30-second behind, so I can't get a actual live feed, so that sort of makes it a little bit challenging. Is there an audio feed? Anyone in a tech booth that I can?
Do you want to go into the Bellator video maybe, as you're looking into that?
Yeah. So why don't we're going to talk about Bellator, which is a sales channel for the Miracle Pay node. So as we've been talking about bringing on these merchants onto Miracle Pay. That network is being supported by CPU.
Yep.
All transactions need CPU power. So we have CPU nodes that support those transactions. And anyone who owns that CPU will share in the profits of Miracle Pay.
Yeah.
And so it's a digital asset. Pays you every single day, and every year as more people are using crypto
for the rest of your life,
for the rest of your life, and as more people are using crypto in stores, and as Miracle Pay increases its reach of stores in the world, those owners, which is a very limited amount of CPU nodes that we're selling, will experience the increase and the success of Miracle Pay, and they'll earn money from Miracle Pay's success, really without having to do a single thing. The Phoenix token goes directly into their wallet every day, indefinitely into the future, from the Miracle Pay and from the Phoenix Hera casino, brick and
the
mortar,
online casino,
and the online casino. And so Bellator is a kind of a sales channel for those nodes. So why don't we play that Bellator video so people can see that as well. Let's do that.
The path of a glorious warrior is growth. A true warrior thrives on evolution. Only by continually reinventing themselves, staying open and clear-minded, and combining time-tested methods with new innovations.
247. 248.
Can they achieve lasting success? Are you ready for the next step of your evolution? Bellator, merging future-driven digital innovation with genuine, tangible values. At Bellator, two highly promising real-world projects create steady income streams. The first one is Miracle Cash, which is revolutionizing digital payments with cryptocurrency integration. The world of digital payments is undergoing a seismic shift with the rise of cryptocurrencies. Every day, we interact with payment terminals. Yet until now, paying with cryptocurrencies on these devices was not possible. Miracle Cash has developed groundbreaking software that integrates cryptocurrency payments into terminals across different providers. Major global terminal providers are already part of Miracle Cash's client portfolio. The second income stream is an ambitious and visionary real estate venture that bridges the physical and digital worlds. Hera is a hotel and residence project featuring an in-house casino located in northern Cyprus. North Cyprus was repeatedly selected by the world-famous Forbes magazine as the #1 choice for the best beachfront property investment in the world. What sets this casino apart is its licensing, covering both cryptocurrency operations and an online crypto casino. Tied to the physical presence of the hotel and residence, this long-term project offers stability and consistent profits for Bellator. Secure your lifetime profit now with Phoenix. Phoenix lies at the heart of Bellator's profitability program, a proprietary cryptocurrency that offers secure and exclusive ownership through blockchain technology and is designed to automate profit sharing, your profits. Phoenix brings together the income streams of Miracle Cash and Hera, delivering automated returns to token holders. This currency is powered by nodes, which give you the exclusive right to mine the Phoenix token. Once you own a node, you'll receive daily payouts in Phoenix, secured for life. A node starts at just $1,100 and is available as a half node, a full node, or in packages of 3 or 7 nodes with special bonus advantages. Full details are available in our back office. Earn even more by growing the Phoenix community. By sharing Bellator's vision with others, you can help expand the Phoenix community while earning an additional income through referrals. Join the Bellator Community Project today and secure your profits, built on real values and sustainability. 7 days a week, 365 days a year, forever.
All right, all right. I don't know if we're back. Are we back? We're back.
We're back.
Okay. All right. So this thing is popping out of my ear. Very good. So Bellator is another project that we built to support everything, to support Phoenix, to support everything. And it is that people can participate in Miracle Success, which has been really our trademark this whole time. We have today now over 5,000 co-owners of this company.
Yeah.
We've done something that's never been done before.
No.
When I met you, I bought into your dream, which is my dream, really. And we put together a way to build this company by having a lot of people involved in its success, and have a lot of people involved in its success by being successful from miracle success. And with what we're talking about, growing throughout Europe, growing throughout the world, Miracle Pay taking 5 million merchants over the next 5 years will create
It's
a
the
ton
biggest
of
global expansion ever.
and owned by, I would say, the most people ever in this type of, in this stage of
And all
evolution.
this will be fed through Bellator, and it will finally find its way at Phoenix. This whole global expansion, that's where it, the heart beats.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm so excited and proud to be talking about this today. You know, I mean, putting all this together and just making a list of 9, 10 items. It's easy to type, but to build it, you know.
Well, I think you, and not to be, I'm not insulting you at all, but you have to be a little bit crazy to have this vision of, you know, having a website that does well is one thing. Binance, Coinbase, having a website that does well is one thing. But to have a company that's going to be physically out there in the world, that's an entirely different animal. It is 100 times more difficult because all of the moving parts, and then to build all of it at the same time.
But like I said, Micah, you know, maybe it's, you know, it's the way you're built, you know, being the first to install the first ATM, being the first to do the cash crypto transaction of Europe. It's all about being the first and winning. Mm. If you go and build what others have done, you're either going to be a copycat, you know, or you're going to be semi-successful. You're never going to be leading one part of that field.
No.
The route we've took, I mean, you can call it crazy, but the route we've taken from today, in 24 months' time, we will be the leading company of our own path. And whoever tries to build it, if they're as crazy as they are, they'll be the copycat.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's the way I see it.
So, and before I go to the next subject, I think it's what we're seeing, because, you know, we did play around with the idea of fintech bank.
Yeah.
Right? So, and there's been others, and there are others in the industry that are doing crypto transactions.
Yeah.
So then you say, okay, what's unique about what we're doing? Mm-hmm. And what's unique is that word ecosystem, in a sense, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So a merchant, you know, we're on the phone with a merchant, we say, yeah, you already have the machine in your store. You just have to press the button, and now you can accept crypto. Mm-hmm. And thank you for doing that. Thank you for being our customer. Next call is, by the way, when that crypto comes through that machine, well, you're converting it into your local currency, and it goes into your bank account like it's done for, you know, a long time, and that's normal. But what is that doing in that bank account for you? That's the question. When you have liquidity, which merchants will have a certain amount of liquidity, what's that doing for you? Well, it's kind of not doing anything. It's actually doing something for the bank, right? But in our world, the blockchain world, we're changing that. We're changing again.
That fiat can be earned as commission, and that fiat can be re-earned with leveler. That fiat can be re-earned with entering into a liquidity pool that we've designed.
Right.
It can be producing over and over again.
So the merchants now, to a certain extent, become their own bank.
Yeah.
So you picture this future where you have millions of merchants, transaction coming through that terminal. Now they can choose. Do they really want to send it to that bank account where it sits
No,
and
because
just gets...
collectively, they are the biggest bank.
Right.
That's what we're building. We're collectively, with our merchants, with our Phoenix holders, with our Bellator participants, collectively, we are building the biggest bank. That's what it is.
Right. That liquidity for us up until this point has been doing less and less for people because we're getting less and less return on that money as it sits in the bank account. Now, with what's happening with decentralized finance, we're now seeing exciting APRs, like 10%.
Maybe more.
With no risk, though.
With no risk.
10% with risk is normal. But 10% just
no
because
risk.
the liquidity is there, no risk. Insured
Doesn't exist.
Doesn't exist
No.
in the world that we're leaving. In the world we're going into, it's very possible. It's actually maybe expected.
Yeah.
And it allows now that those individuals to be part of that part of what happens with money.
Yeah.
We've been maybe just part of the thing that says if I put $100,000 in my bank account in January and I keep it there until the next year, I've lost money because that
the
money
bank
doesn't
charge-
have the same value anymore. So then that completes the picture, and that's the other thing when you say the first with an amazing infrastructure ecosystem that gives that merchant a much better position than they have now.
I mean, loads of different opportunities to grow their money in the system they are.
Yeah.
So one more thing that we've been currently working on, and you know, especially on Bellator, we have been working on Miracle Bank, and I would like to say that, and we're actually going live. We're fully integrated. We're contracted with Miracle Bank. It's coming up any day now. We're going live, and this system is giving the Miracle world, something very unique that no other crypto company has out there. You know, we can accept payment with crypto. We can open people a vIBAN, which is a virtual IBAN. Mm-hmm. Allow people to SWIFT, CHAPS, SEPA, EU, ACH.
Mm-hmm. ACH, you'll say?
To themselves. Allow users to pay with crypto, buy crypto and pay for crypto products with credit card and debit card. That pack has been complete, and we're going live with that as well, which gives something very unique to the whole system.
So, okay, first of all, they register with Bellator Life. We had the link up there before, but you register for free. And then once you're there, you can set up, which will be in the next few days, you'll be able to set up your own virtual IBAN, so your own bank account inside of that system. And you can ACH the money to yourself, you can wire the money to yourself, and easily convert that fiat to crypto, or the other way around. So if you want to...
And you can use these channels to buy your CPU, which will be producing you Phoenix, or you can be going to Bellator as well and buy Phoenix as well with these channels.
And
so
you
it's
can
not
also...
only Mexi coin store, but you can also purchase Phoenix through Bellator as well. So there's all these ways to get in the game.
Yeah. And you can kind of become a referral person as well.
Okay.
Refer someone to the site. They do any of those Miracle Bank crypto services. There's commissions there. You can refer people to the CPU, purchasing those. Yeah. There's commissions there. So you can actually look at that, you know, as a side thing that you do, or it could be a serious business for yourself as well by participating in Miracle success through that Bellator program. Phenomenal. So, and it doesn't cost anything to be part of that. So that's another additional way that we're sort of putting our message out there to people. Be part of this. Be part of not just like making money, but be part of doing something that's going to make a huge difference, you know, for people in the world. Because as this technology expands, you know, we're kind of taking control back.
There is nothing stopping this. You know, this is the way the world is going to go.
Yeah.
We have the first mover advantage at the moment. It's all about, you know, aggressive growth in regulated territory with the right products and the right tools. We have all that. You know, it's as I said.
Can we go back to the other URL, because that one is not going to allow them to register. It's the tiny URL link. Go ahead.
So it's all about not missing on it now. You know, you can come into Bellator and you can take the advantage of Miracle Pay. You can take the advantage of being with Phoenix, because this is the way the world is going now. I mean, crypto is the new future for finance. Mm-hmm. That is already established. If it wasn't, there wouldn't be regulations. There wouldn't be MiCAs. There would be none of this. So the crypto, is crypto the future or not? I think that question doesn't exist anymore.
No.
It's who's going to take how much of that future and who's going to get it to where it needs to get faster than the other. And we have that first mover advantage on the field we are, and for us, it's all about fast growth now.
Yeah. Well, when I looked at it and I understood what was happening, and maybe people haven't fully comprehended how big it is, but to disrupt the financial industry and that transition from what we have now to where it's going, and where we are now is, I think it's speeding up. We'll see some incredible movements of wealth.
The first 24 months is going to be the biggest growth in crypto ever.
Yeah.
So, you know, as I said, this is something that I'm proud to be able to share here today with you. Mm-hmm. It's so much that's being built, and that's you know, get going and see that fast growth and enjoy the fruitful of this whole thing.
I want to actually go over one thing with you.
Please.
Because you mentioned when we first were starting what you did in when you were a banker.
Yeah.
Back in the day. And you built a consumer credit product. And when we first started talking about Miracle, and we weren't working together yet, and you shared with me that product and the results, where you know, the company did $1 billion in 3 months with that product, first 3 months. I understood the power of that. It's to be able to give people the ability to get something now that they need when they don't have the money now, which was consumer credit.
Yeah.
And then you said to me, there's a missing piece to that product, and the missing piece was the blockchain. So there is something that Miracle's doing.
Okay,
the
missing piece is the merchant, and which I'll explain now. But it's blockchain that takes away the need of the merchant, because the consumer credit product was an amazing product, and we did over $1 billion. But the APR on the product was being set by each and every merchant. Mm-hmm. So there was inconsistency in the product from the consumer's point of view. You know, some would charge 10% and the other one would charge 20%. Now, when it comes to crypto, we said, well, first of all, we need to be regulated, we need to build the infrastructure, we need to get to the point that we actually reach big liquidity pools, you know, and that's what we've been doing. So we are there. It's good that you open the subject. So, but this is a product that we have ready, but we'll start rolling out, let's say, in a year and a half time. It's called Miracle with installments. So what this is allowing people to buy Phoenix, but pay back in 12 installments, pay back in 24 installments, based on their consumer credit, like, you know, Experian, Equifax, these credit scores, underwriting the credit score with a global insurance company to take the risk of any score remaining NPL, non-performing loan. Now at that point, if you're the one giving allowing them to buy crypto with installment, then there is no risk of the merchant. The merchant is just selling cash. The merchant is not setting the APR. So what you're actually doing is a decentralized liquidity pool powered by Phoenix that's allowing the consumers globally to buy products with this consumer credit product. And that will be the biggest global consumer credit product built in history.
And you've seen it work, obviously.
I know how it works.
You know how it works.
I know how it needs to work. I know it has to work. I know each country's credit bureaus. If you're in Germany, you need to be in Schufa. If you're in US, you need to be Experian, TransUnion, Equifax, and UK. I know the scorecards. I know the countries.
This is different. There's crypto people who borrow against the crypto, use crypto as their security.
Yeah, but this
is different. This
is based on your risk.
Yeah, you're in a store, furniture store. You want that couch, but you also want the coffee table. You just don't have it. Store says, well, you can get the coffee table and we can get the couch and you can fill out this credit application. You get tokens. We accept those tokens.
It's not even a credit application. It will be an SMS sent to your phone, Data Protection Act. You will allow that data to be freed to your score. It will be an okay, and then the score will work, and it will say yes, no, or no to this amount, but yes to this amount. You know, so 3 different answers.
And then instantly you have those
you will
tokens.
have a purchase agreement. It won't be a credit. It will be a purchase agreement.
Purchase agreement, yeah.
And that purchase agreement will be, I'm buying X amount of Phoenix, and I will pay it back as Y amount of Phoenix at 24 months, 18 months, or 24 months. That's what it is.
You get the Phoenix, you transfer Phoenix to the furniture store. You get the couch, but you're making payments on the token that you got on the purchase contract.
Yes.
Which is also a world's first.
It's the world's first crypto consumer product. It will be.
Right. So it
never been done before.
Mimics what people have been doing when they get their cars and get their cell phones. It's a same model but done differently legally, and people can, you know, if they need that emergency cash or whatever, they're able to do that. I envision someone on a bus seeing the advertisement, scanning the QR code. By the time they get to where they're at, they actually have the funds on their digital crypto card, and they can go and
yeah,
use
you don't need
to
do this through a merchant. I mean, it could be 2 ways. The merchant could be bringing the product to you, or you could be doing it through your app, having the Phoenix ready, and just going and making your purchase from PC World, whatever.
And you can contract with, you know, an Amazon. You can contract with an IKEA.
Anything.
You can contract with massive stores.
You know, the way Phoenix going, now that it's 1,700, and I said to you we're going to increase.
Let's go back to that Phoenix slide again, because
it's important.
I really want people to understand.
It's important that you said Amazon, because, you know, we will get to 200,000 merchants. Will one of them be Amazon? Maybe not, because we're talking about stores. But when you're at 1,700 listed, from 4,700 to 1,700, that's a big jump.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're not going to jump 3,000 positions every day. But when you get into the first 500, 400, you don't need to go after Amazon. When you put the Miracle Pay revenue into Phoenix, when you put the hotel, casino revenue into Phoenix, when you put the online revenue into Phoenix, and when you put $20 million additional liquidity in 12 months into
From the
you
node
don't need to go
sales.
after Amazon. Amazon will be positioning you as a currency. That
So
happens
there's a
automatically.
percentage of Miracle Pay
Yeah.
revenue that is allocated,
To Phoenix.
and what percentage is that?
It's 30%.
30% of Miracle Pay revenue
Is going,
go right into liquidity for Phoenix.
yes. Plus hotel, resort, casino, online casino percentage, plus 20 million additional cash liquidity.
From the sales. And we're at 2.36 million.
So we should really,
Recognizing maybe there's an opportunity there
Maybe.
is an understatement.
in today's calculation, we should be, if we had been announcing this to the world like we are today, for the six months before, we would have been around 200 million already.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
Market cap.
Yeah.
That's 100x. we should. And the only reason we're not there is because this is the actual first time that we've shared our company in this way in front of a big audience, and we will continue to do that. That's part of our agenda now as we move forward, building out Miracle Pay all over Europe over the next 5 years, also expanding into, now we're really looking at the United States as a very attractive market, as the new leadership there seems to be very open to having United States be a leading company for, for this industry. So that everybody knows that's not a small market for anyone.
No, things will fly much faster and much aggressiveness, especially in the US, after the new president and the team wrapped around him. And things will fly very fast globally for crypto. It's all about, are we ready? And we are. We're more than ready to adapt to that pace.
To be the leader, to be the most innovative.
We've got our products. When we sat down 5-6 years ago, it was, we're going to build this, and we're going to get this license, and we're going to build this structure. We wrapped around all this. We have a holding company, and we have 22 companies wrapped around it to make sure this structure works. And this has took a long time to, establish all those and plug the consultants and the people around it, and contract after contract,
What's really interesting is, because we're doing so many things, and we have so many topics, we could be here for another hour and still haven't even scratched the surface of what we're doing.
Yeah, so much.
But one other thing that's happening very soon is a merger.
Yeah.
That we're doing, which is Miracle becoming a public company, traded initially on the OTC Nasdaq market as Bellator.
Yeah.
Happening very, very soon.
Yeah.
So as these events unfold, you'll see that announcement. We're already dominant shareholders in Bellator. We're just looking for the last step of doing that merger. So that's another part to this that is exciting, which makes it, you know, a much bigger picture for us as we move through 2025 as well.
Yeah.
You can say that. All right, let's see what's happening on audio to see if we have something. All right. Let me check our chat group here if I can see if we're going to do some audio today, Hakan. All right. I think we are video only today.
Okay, but we'll be carry on with audios.
Yeah.
What I'm gonna, you know, because this is gonna be an exciting growth,
Yeah.
and you know, it's good to be. I mean, this is our first video, but we're gonna make sure that we're here more often because this growth is gonna be big, and I want to be. Well, we want to be sharing that growth with people out there, and really, you know, allowing people to participate in our dream and what we've built for the last 8 years.
Yeah, I believe we will make a lot of, we'll definitely be part of creating a lot of wealth for individual wealth through Bellator. Being part of that is being part of the whole project. To whatever level that someone wants to. If they want to run a small business with us, being a CPU trader, they can do that. They want to, you know, do big numbers with us, they can do that too. So through that,
they can buy, invest, you know, at its price now with Phoenix through Mexi and CoinStore.
Yeah.
They can do that straight away.
Yeah.
Because, as I said, we will see a big growth in price.
We will see a huge growth in price over the next 2 weeks. I believe we will. This is not investment advice, but I believe we can see 20 cents, 30 cents plus over the next 2 weeks.
That's what I'm expecting.
That's a huge gain for anyone. So because we haven't been public with who we are and what we've built, and a company that we are when it comes to our token, the only reason it's not on those numbers that you've said is because people simply don't know about this yet, but now they're starting to. So if you want to ride a token and see that value that you have in there, multiply, this is the time to actually do that. Our token has never been less than it is now, except for in pre-sale. So it is an absolute opportunity for anyone who understands what we've just shared, the company we've shared with people.
Okay. Thank you for the time.
Yeah, thank you for the time.
Let's get started.
Let's get started, and we'll be on audio on Spaces over the next weeks. We'll be on audio, sharing about this, continuing to talk to the world about the project. So we'll definitely hear and see everyone again. So thanks so much for attending this space. We appreciate that so much, and we'll see you again soon. Thanks.
See you again. Bye-bye.